how do you evaluate the West's decision to engage with Hayat Tahrir al-Sham? What impact might this have on Syria's future political trajectory?
It is projected that the West is going to be cautious in its contact and connection with the Syrian government in Damascus because a lot of backdoor negotiations and deliberations are going to take place in order to guarantee the Western interests in the region. We believe that these negotiations and deliberations are going to revolve around the establishment of a Western strategy in order to limit the Iranian influence in the region and to as well put a limit to the phenomenon of illegal migration. I believe this is the main pillar in these deliberations and negotiations between the West and the current government of Syria. And regarding tomorrow's meeting between foreign ministers, I believe this is going to revolve around the sustaining of peace and security in Syria, in addition to discussing some other issues such as the way the West is going to deal with the new Syrian administration in order to make sure that the Western interests and the Syrian ones are in alignment. Spain and Italy, for instance, have restored their diplomatic missions in Damascus, and they have laid some strict controls regarding the dealing of the new leadership of Syria. As well, this meeting is going to discuss further developments and reforms that are going to take place under the auspices of the current Syrian government.
Yes, well, we will go deeper into the meeting tomorrow. But Dr. Osman, now with Syria in the midst of a humanitarian crisis exacerbated by the ongoing Israeli violence, what specific actions do you expect from Western nations to support the Syrian people and address Israel's unlawful aggression and invasion of the buffer zone?
Well, of course, the humanitarian situation inside Syria right now is dire. It has been dire for the past 13 years, so let's not pretend as if we discovered this the past 10 or 15 days. Syria has lost over 600,000 people in the past 13 years, and over 13 million people are internally displaced or externally displaced as refugees. So, and this is a huge humanitarian crisis, has its reverberation, had its reverberations all around the world. So right now, the West needs to step up. The Europeans need to step up. If they are to invest in Syrian stability, they need to step in and they need to provide substantial humanitarian aid and substantial aid for the authorities over there, whoever they are, in order to rebuild the country's damaged infrastructure and restore basic services and ensure at least the food security of the Syrian people. This is very important. And also, instrumental to the stability of Syria, as you have mentioned, is the situation with Israel. Because now what the Israelis are doing is detrimental to Syrian stability and to actual Syrian unity. And the Israeli incursions, or rather the Arab incursion, Israeli invasion with thousands of troops, hundreds of tanks, went beyond the buffer zone, and they actually entered today parts of southern Darah and several towns, and they even reached the Yarmouk River basin. And beyond Gabr Sheikh, they reached the outskirts of the countryside of Damascus. So what is the Israeli end game? This, of course, happened, coincided with a massive wave of airstrikes that is still going on until now, that is decimating Syria's military infrastructure, complete violation of international law, and the Europeans have done nothing about it. The United States will understand their position regarding Israel. We will provide them unconditional support whatever they do, even if they drop a nuclear bomb on Damascus, the Americans will not care. However, the Europeans who took a strong stance, many of those countries took a strong stance on Gaza, it is expected of them to take a strong stance on Syria as well, because this is a blatant violation of international law. And what they are doing is that they are denying Syria any future prospect of stability. A country not being able to restore its military and security capacity due to Israel's intransigence and violations will not be able to attain stability, especially with the existence of numerous armed factions on the ground of various inclinations. So I think the Europeans have to step in instead of trying to lay certain conditions for the Syrian government in order to give them humanitarian aid. We have to step in and stop the Israeli aggression first, or at least attempt to pressure Israel to part ways with these irresponsible policies.